and violence caused by transnational criminal organizations that I took on. And when I am president, we will quickly remove those who arrive here unlawfully, prosecute.
Deborah's not coming back, folks. Okay?
Who are working hard.
Your wife is not going to come back when Donald Trump becomes president.
I have been honored to serve as Joe Biden.
And the more you chirp about like Donald Trump being the fucking great white hope or whatever the fuck, the more people are going to stop calling you. There's a reason why your family, your immediate family members don't want to fucking have Thanksgiving with you no more, okay? That's because your vibes are horrendous.
Our priority as a nation 4 years ago was to end the pandemic and rescue the economy. Now, our biggest challenge is to lower costs that were rising even before the pandemic and that are still too high. I get it. I still remember our mother sitting at that yellow Formica table, late at night, cup of tea in hand, a pile of bills in front of her, trying to make it all work. And I've heard from so many of you who are facing even greater financial pressures. Donald Trump's answer to you is the same as it was the last time. Another $1 trillion in tax cuts for billionaires and big corporations. And this time, he will pay for it with a 20% national sales tax on everything you buy that is imported. Think about it. Clothes, food, toys.
The only good thing that the Trump tariffs would do is destroy the Trump merch economy.
Average family, nearly $4,000
like all
more
of the Trump merch stores that rely on overseas merchandise, garment production would inevitably collapse because they would never be able to pay the tariff fee. And that's the one positive of this entire process is that like they would suffer. Okay? The Trump merchandise stores in every fucking rural town would literally suffer so traumatically. And honestly, great.
Not going back. We are not.
Gatlinburg, Tennessee would be in ruin. The Beamer would still be there, though.
We are not going back. Because we also know Donald Trump would deliver tax cuts to his billionaire donors. I will deliver tax cuts to working people and the middle class. I will make sure you have a chance not just to get by, but to get ahead. Because I believe in honoring the dignity of work. I will enact the first ever federal ban on price gouging on groceries.
True. It would also destroy drop shippers too. So you're cooked if you're a drop shipper. Oh my God, 100% of drop shippers and 100% of Trump merch store owners vote for Donald Trump. He's directly cooking his base.
Sure that hardworking Americans can actually afford a place to live. I'll never forget how our mother saved up and how excited she was when she could finally afford to buy our first home. I remember how excited she was. And I know that owning a home is not only a measure of financial security, it's about the pride of your hard work. And as president, I will fight to help first-time home buyers with your down payment, take on the companies that are jacking up rents, and build millions of new homes. For years, we have heard excuses about why America can't build enough housing. Enough with the excuses. I'm going to cut the red tape and work with the private sector and local governments to speed up building and get it done.
Oh.
And the cost of housing isn't
Yeah,
the only financial
deregulation.
pressure on middle-class
Private
families.
sector.
I've met so many
I love
young
the private
people who
sector.
have a
I
natural
fucking
desire to
come.
parent their
I
children
come
well.
when I think about real estate developers. I nut every time we cut some red tape. Let's go. I fucking love deregulation. Oh, I'm a deregulation voter. Are you a small business? I love small businesses. Tell me more about how you're a small business. Tell me about how your mom was a small business. Kamala, I love you. Whoa! The thing that I hate about Donald Trump is that he's not serious about deporting all the migrants. Kamala will do it. Let's go.
People in the sandwich generation who are raising young children and taking care of a parent, juggling all of it is extremely difficult. You know, I took care of my mother when she got sick, cooking food that she had a taste for, finding clothes that would not irritate her skin. And understand, as I do, that caregiving is about dignity. It is about dignity. And currently, if you need home care and you don't have some money to hire someone, you and your family need to deplete your savings to qualify for help. That's just not right. So we're going to change the approach and allow Medicare to cover the cost of home care so seniors can get the help and care they need in their own homes. Now, Donald Trump has a different approach. He tried to cut Medicare and Social Security every year he was president. Look, I believe that when people have worked hard their entire life, they deserve to retire with the benefits they have earned. And I believe in the fundamental freedom of Americans to make decisions about their own bodies and not have their government tell them what to do. I will fight to restore what Donald Trump and his hand-selected Supreme Court justices took away from the women of America. That today, 1 in 3 women in America, think about it, 1 in 3 women in America lives in a state with a Trump abortion ban, many with no exceptions even for rape and incest. The idea that a woman who survives a crime of a violation to her body should not have the authority to make a decision about what happens to her body next, that is immoral. That is immoral. And Trump's not done. He would ban abortion nationwide.
Bro, it's crazy that this speech is literally identical to every other speech that she has given so far. Like, come on. You gotta do something different, dude. Like, you've spent 30, 40, 50 million dollars on these like focus tested, means tested policies that you are advocating for that are nowhere near meeting the expectations that massive chunks of voters want, and you're still running with them. At a certain point, you have to realize, like, you know, maybe we got to spice it up a little bit. She didn't give a new policy when I walked away. She said she's going to expand at-home health care for Medicare, which is a good policy of hers.
And look, on another subject, politicians have got to stop treating immigration as an issue to scare up votes in an election, and instead treat it as the serious challenge that it is, that we must finally come together to solve. I will work with Democrats and Republicans to sign into law the border security bill that Donald Trump killed. When I was Attorney General of a border state, I saw the chaos and violence caused by transnational criminal organizations that I took on. And when I am president, we will quickly remove those who arrive here unlawfully, prosecute the cartels, and give Border Patrol the support they so desperately need.
Fuck yeah! I wasn't off base when I
At
said
the same
the deportation
We
thing.
must
Like that.
acknowledge we are a nation
Go back to the
that-
earlier rant that I was doing as a joke, and then match it up against what Kamala Harris just said.
I will work with Congress to pass immigration reform, including an earned path to citizenship for hardworking immigrants like farm workers and our dreamers. As Commander-in-Chief, I will make sure America has the strongest, most lethal fighting force in the world. Donald Trump, on the other hand, has shown his contempt for our nation's heroes, calls them suckers and losers, called a 4-star Marine general a, quote, lowlife. I will always honor, never denigrate, the service and sacrifice of our troops and their families, and fulfill our sacred obligation to care for them. I will strengthen, not surrender, America's global leadership. And I will stand with our friends because I know that our alliances
Israel.
keep American people safe
Israel.
and
She's
make
talking about Israel.
America stronger and more secure. Look, world leaders think that Donald Trump is an easy mark, easy to manipulate with flattery or favor. And you can believe that autocrats like Putin and Kim Jong-un are rooting for him in this election. I will always uphold our security, advance our national interest, and ensure that the United States of America remains, as we must forever be, a champion of liberty around the world. America, we know what Donald Trump has in mind. More chaos, more division, and policies that help those at the very top and hurt everyone else. I offer a different path, and I ask for your vote. And here is my pledge to you. I pledge to seek common ground and common sense solutions to make your life better. I am not looking to score political points. I am looking to make progress. I pledge to listen to experts, to those who will be impacted by the decisions I make, and to people who disagree with me. Unlike Donald Trump, I don't believe people who disagree with me are the enemy. He wants to put them in jail. I'll give them a seat at the table. I pledge to you to approach my work with the joy and optimism that comes from making a difference in people's lives. And I pledge to be a president for all Americans. And to always put country above party and self. I love our country with all my heart. And I believe in its promise because I've lived it. I grew up as a child of the Civil Rights Movement. My parents would take me to marches in a stroller, where crowds of people of all races, faiths, and walks of life came together to fight for the ideals of freedom and opportunity. I've lived the promise of America. I saw how hard our mother worked to give her daughters the same chances this country gave her. Growing up, I was blessed to have family by blood and family by love, who instilled in me the values of community, compassion, and faith that have always defined our nation at its best. I've lived the promise of America. I've spent my life fighting for the people who have been hurt and counted out, but never stopped believing that in our country, anything is possible. I've lived the promise of America, and I see the promise of America in all of you. In all of you. I see it in the young people who are voting for the first time, who are determined to live free from gun violence and to protect our planet and to shape the world they inherit. I see it in the
36K
women
chat
who
of
refuse to
cynicism and
accept a
negativity.
future without
Damn, you're right, dude. I should fucking... People in here should be listening to her talk about how she's going to have the most strongest, most lethal military and how she's going to deport those who are illegally here. As a Democrat running for president against Donald Trump, should be excited at the prospect. You're right. Like, you do understand. First of all, yeah, it's actually 38,696 people who are filled to the room with cynicism. Cynicism of what they're seeing. Cynicism of what they recognize means for the future of America. Okay? I don't know how you can look at this, even if you're voting for Kamala Harris. I don't know how you can look at this and fucking be like, yeah, shit's not good at all, as a matter of fact. Does this speak to you? Actually. Does it actually speak to you? It doesn't speak to me at all.